But it's already several days after Christmas, and you promised me. You don't have any choice? Well, what about me? Well, I guess I'll just have to wait then. I'll call you back. Good morning. You sleep well?
Fine. Who's that?
Would you like some coffee?
Yes, please. Who was on the phone?
I'll be right back.
Who were you talking to on the phone?
When?
Just before you ducked into the kitchen to get me some coffee.
Still on that?
I'm still on it, as long as you're not answering it.
I'm not answering it.
Ah, what do you call it then?
Don't tell me you're jealous.
Why shouldn't I be jealous? I mean, here I am, married to a very lovely, desirable woman.
True.
But then again, I mean, ours is a marriage made in heaven. I mean, the perfect match. I can't imagine you ever wanting anybody else but me.
You're absolutely right. I don't.
All right, so we've ruled out lovers on the phone. Now, that leaves us
You know,
with this...
speaking of perfect matches, I wonder where Luke and Laura are now.
Well, wherever they are, I'll bet it's not dull. You snuck out of that one, didn't you?
Well, they do have a certain knack of stirring up things.
Part of the magic.
You miss him, don't you?
Yeah. We'd only just gotten back together again, and he takes off on some other crazy adventure.
Do you wish you were going with him?
No. I'm where I want to be right now, and I'm with the person I want to be with.
So am I.
Yeah, isn't it amazing how everything worked out for the best? I mean, nobody got hurt. Luke and Laura got what they wanted, and poor Charles gets another great mare.
Do you think they'll come back?
I would imagine so. We may even be here when they do.
What do you mean? Is the wanderlust catching?
Only if you're with me. Speaking of wandering, I want to get out of the mayor's office. He wants a meeting with his commissioners to sort out this new administration.
But isn't it pretty much the same as before, with one notable exception?
Yeah, it should be a short meeting. It's the former deputy mayor as the new mayor introducing himself to his staff. Hey. Any mayors in?
Hey, Robert, come on in.
Robert, hi.
Gail, getting used to your husband's new office?
Yes, and I'm beginning to worry about all these new responsibilities. And I have a whole lot of old responsibilities at the hospital waiting for me. I've got to run, darling. I will talk to you later,
All right.
Mr. Mayor. Goodbye, Robert.
Love.
Ron,
Holly,
what are you doing here?
I live here, don't I?
I thought you'd be out working with Brian. I was expecting to find Celia at home.
No, I'm afraid you missed on both counts. I have a patient that Brian took down to General Hospital today, and I'm not exactly welcome there. And Celia is off on her decorating job.
I thought I'd surprise her and take her out to lunch.
Good. Well, you might try ELQ. You might be able to catch her there.
Well, I wouldn't want to disturb her.
No, it wouldn't disturb her at all. In fact, I think that a lunch with an old friend might be just perfect for her. It would give her a chance to take her mind off our problems.
You sure it's okay?
I am positive it's okay. Celia would be delighted to have you drop in.
Well, I will then. What about you? How are you?
I'm hanging in there.
You still having a hard time of it?
It all depends on what happens in that hearing next week. I don't really know. If I lose my license, I don't know what I'll do.
Well, I think that about sums up the priorities of the police department.
Well, I appreciate your showing me this report, Robert.
Well, I figured you'd want to see it before the council meeting started. That's why I got here early. Also, I wanted to express my personal congratulations.
About what? I backed into this job.
Who cares? As far as I'm concerned, you're going to make Port Charles a damn good mayor.
Well, I thank you. Coming from you, Robert, that is welcome encouragement.
Well, sincerely, I think you know that.
It's funny. Some things do work out for the best sometimes. Eh?
Certainly has in this case.
Well, I mean, who'd guess that we would run a mayoral race and nobody'd lose?
Couldn't have turned out better. I mean, everybody got what they wanted. Everybody's where they want to be.
You all right?
Holly? Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just thought you might like to go out for lunch. I thought you might need cheering up.
You go right ahead. I got another appointment.
Well, this is a nice surprise, Holly. Where did you want to go to lunch? Maybe we should make it some other time.
What's that supposed to mean?
Haven't you got enough problems without getting involved with him again?
What are you talking about?
I have eyes, Celia.
Holly, if it was any of your business, which it isn't, I'm not involved with Jimmy Lee, not in the slightest.
Well, it looked that way to me.
Well, then I won't have to bother to explain what you thought you saw.
It doesn't matter what I thought. You should be saving your explanations for your husband.
Jimmy Lee and I were just working together, Holly.
Couldn't you have found a job someplace else? Why do you have to go straight to Jimmy Lee?
Oh, there have been so many offers. People are just breaking down doors to hire the wife of an ex-spy.
You could have found something.
I did. I found a job right here. I like this job. It pays reasonably well, and I enjoy doing it.
So I noticed.
I need this job, Holly, not only for the money, but for my sanity.
Oh, is that what you call it, preserving your sanity? Well, I call it stupid. I just hope this man is worth it.
Get out!
Celia, listen to me. I didn't mean to...
Yes, you did. You said exactly what you meant. Now just get out.
I was 5 blocks away, and I felt really awful. I had to come back and say something to you.
Said quite enough already, Holly.
I know, and I apologize. I came by because I knew you were under a lot of pressure, and I wanted to cheer you up. It was just such a shock seeing you with Jimmy Lee like that. I guess I jumped to conclusions. I'm sorry I reacted that way.
Well, that's all right. I guess it probably did look pretty incriminating.
It's none of my business anyway.
I'm sorry for blowing up at you. It doesn't take much to set me off these days.
Am I forgiven?
Don't be silly. Thanks for coming back. I don't have friends to spare.
Well, you'd have to fight awfully hard to lose this one.
That's good to hear. Well, can I take a rain check on that lunch?
Yes, of course. It's probably a good idea. I have an awful lot to do today anyway.
So do I. Well, why don't you give me a call sometime?
Yes, I will.
Hello.
Robert, it's Grant. You sound like you were running.
Well, not until I heard the phone ringing. What's up?
I need a favor.
Well, let's hear it.
I've got a patient, a young girl named Carla Escobar, who has got to start therapy immediately. Now, she insists that she'll only work with me, and the problem is that the people here at General Hospital are not about to let me use their facilities.
Well, what can I do?
Frankly, I was hoping that you would let her use your exercise equipment. Under my supervision, of course.
Well, yeah. No problem. It's all yours.
Robert, I thank you. I had hoped you'd say this. I didn't know where else to turn.
I'm happy to help you, Grant. Just let me know when you want to start.
Will do. Thanks again.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. How'd your meeting go?
Fine. Lee is taking charge.
Good.
Where you been?
Went to see if Celia could have lunch with me.
Is she busy?
You might say that. When I went in, she was sitting on the floor with Jimmy Lee. He had his arms around her, and they were laughing as if they didn't have a care in the world.
Uh-oh.
That's what I thought.
It's like old times, huh?
It certainly seemed that way. I put both feet in my mouth before I realized that I had completely misunderstood the situation.
Well,
logical sort of conclusion. Certainly not one without precedent.
We had a terrible row. I mean, we made up finally, I think, but I feel really guilty. Celia has enough problems without my coming down on her for something that isn't even my business.
Well, I mean, you're a best friend. You call the shots as you see them.
Yeah, and I botched it up horribly. Wish there was something we could do for Celia and Grant, something nice.
Something nice. How about a night out? I mean, just like it used to be. Dinner? We could all do with a night out in the town.
Robert, you are the most wonderful man in the whole hospital.
Oh.